Welcome back. Nyxx has been exploring the city for the last few days and has just spotted this very interesting house.
You will be.
Stand on your liver!
It is stand and deliver, little fig. Though I think I like yours better. You bellow like a true berserker.
The commander said I only had to keep out bad ones. So you can pass.
Who's the commander?
That's secret. And anyway, she's away, so Ryon's in charge. So be nice to Ryon, or I'll kick you out. Oi! Stop a moment. Commander, you're in trouble! Everyone, she's back!
Oh, Maller's Mark, here we go.
Are we quite sure she hasn't actually died this time, brother? She looks dead.
Smells it too. Ooh.
It has been a hard road. But I can clip you both around the ear to prove I am no ghost. If it would help.
Forgive us, Mother. We're just surprised you still know how to find your way home.
Nyxx probably wouldn't want to intervene in someone else's family drama. They have enough of that on their own.
A sending spell can carry 25 words. Do you know how many Jaheira's only message contained? In all this time she's been away? 7.
This really isn't any of my business.
Now there is a phrase Jaheira has never uttered. But no. The message went, I'm sorry, you know what to do.
So why haven't you done it? You were supposed to get the young ones out of the city.
And you were supposed to be dead. That's what your oh-so-stoic message meant, yes? Yet here you are. So, what happened out there?
I got my skin saved by this one. We've come to take the fight to the cult. Which is exactly why you all cannot be here.
Why? You plan on winning, don't you? You're the one who saved us, so tell me. Are we all doomed?
Honestly, yeah, we'll probably all die.
Fine. Better in our home than quivering in some bush out in the Cloakwood.
You are a very irritating girl.
This isn't your house, remember? You'll keep a civil tongue under our roof if we let you stay at all.
Have mercy, sister. She's old after all.
So old!
Seems I'm outvoted. See, Mother? That is how you go about talking things through with your family. Now, if there's more to discuss, then bloody well come in. And wipe your boots.
I take no responsibility for your plants. You know I'm more of a mushroom man.
You've let my study turn into a thicket. Is this what I am hearing?
I tended to it. I just let it thrive in its own independence. You know, same way you raised us.
I raised you to be a sweet and kind boy. What happened?
I watched what you did instead of listening to what you said. This house has taken in a lot of children over the years. Mother dear was sometimes more commander than, well, mother dear.
Absolutely no comment.
Ha! You see? This one is well trained. I have no need for you anymore, faithless boy.
Oh, save your fangs for someone who thinks you might actually use them. I've only ever seen her truly angry once. We were down the market when I was about 9 years old. Some merchant started in with the usual. Yes, but where's your family? Whose son are you, really? When Mother was done with him, Well, let's say he won't have any sons of his own to worry about.
Nature's law in action. I hope you were hibernating, little cub. I can't think of another reason you wouldn't come down to say hello.
Jaheira! I didn't want to see if you were really dead. They said
Who said?
Jord and Ryan. They didn't think I could hear.
You little sneak thief? Well, they were wrong. Look! Not dead. I just had a few adventures. Like,
Bloodshed, death, more of the same.
Ignore my friend. They hit their head very, very hard. They are in danger of it happening again.
One of the perils of traveling with Jaheira.
Now, cub, solitude is a wonderful thing, but not too much. Come downstairs and fight with your sisters.
Wait here. I was keeping this safe.
My Harper pin. Oh, was a certain little sneak thief playing down in my sanctuary?
No.
Harper pin opens more doors than most. Come down to my study and see if you can figure it out.
A fine day to you, sir. Are you known to this court?
Huh?
Oh, play along, would you?
Lord Boo is most pleased to make your acquaintance, my lady. Word of your grace has spread far and wide among the hamster houses.
Jessim discovered an old family tree in my study. We haven't had a moment's peace since.
Tetherian nobility. You might be royalty, Jaheira. You don't want to be queen, of course, and Ryan curses too much, so it would have to be me.
Careful, girl. They have a habit of taking against tyrants there.
Huh. I'm not a tyrant. If anyone calls me one, I'll have Fig chop their head off.
That might be worth a look.
Pay no mind to those. You're probably safe so long as I am here. Have no fear. The traps aren't meant for you. But, better to stick close, eh? The only patch of wilderness this city permits me. There ought to be supplies here to aid us.
You know this place, Boo. Nyxx has never been invited.
We could have stopped and spoken to the badger and those rats. They're basically like Jaheira's informants, I guess, around the city, but they just give us information we already knew.
Keen eye. But if it's supplies you seek, weapons to aid in our fight, you won't find them behind that door. There is nothing back there of worth to anyone but me.
If it matters to you, it matters to me.
On my word, all you will find inside is dust. And the moldering keepsakes of a much younger woman.
Jaheira, our friend has put their trust in us. Boo thinks it is only right to return the gesture, no?
You so rarely make a habit of being right, Ranger. that it puts me ill at ease when you are. Pass then. Go on. See what it is a foolish old Harper thinks worth hiding away.
Jaheira's old weapons. They look strong as ever. Nyxx should know. They gave him many bruises over the years.
A gift from my husband. I've had to renew parts over the years, but the heart remains the same as the day he gave it to me.
Rite of the Timeless Body. What's that about? I'd best ask Jaheira.
We'll ask her once we head outside.
Coming along nice.
No arguing. Just tell me you're well.
I am well.
And Nyxx?
Boo is also very well. And happy to see you, Ryan.
And I him. Enough that I'll let him keep his lumbering, sweaty steed inside. So, this cult. What's our plan?
I'm not fool enough to think I can change your mind. But if you're staying, I don't want you taking up arms. There are other ways to fight.
Really? Like what?
Ignore Jaheira. If it comes to it, pick up a sword.
I favor the hammer, but ignoring her, I mastered at a very young age. If I have to stay home and babysit, then it's your job to make sure there's still a home to look after. Take what you need, and we'll do the grand reunion when you come back for good. So, lovely as it is to have you back, Mother, go away. You have work to do.
Aye, aye, Commander. Wait, one more thing. There are doppelgangers on our trail. One even went so far as to steal my face.
Huh. All right then. If you turn up looking for hugs and kisses, I'll be sure to shoot first.
That's my girl.
It's peaceful, isn't it?
Peaceful for the moment.
You know, I never dreamed our noble Jaheira would be such a terrible, terrible mother. It's nice to see heroes are as awful as the rest of us, hmm?
Come on, she's right behind me.
Tell me, now that you have met Jaheira's children, it is not unpleasant to see her on the rough side of someone's tongue, hmm? No, Boo, you will not tell her. Nyxx said nothing. We will not speak of this again.
Should be at home with their loved ones.
The cub speaks.
So why didn't you tell me about your family?
I have given you much reason to think that Harpers hoard secrets like precious stones, but I promise you, this was not some intrigue. Just, plain and simple foolishness. As if by keeping clear of my family, I might keep them clear of the cult in turn. And if this fight were to go against us, well, we had already done their mourning. Why visit it on them twice?
You're right. That is extremely foolish.
Careful now. Only I get to say it. And my daughter, apparently. I was wrong to think I could keep my children from this fight. They're Baldurian born and bred. The only damned reason I root myself in this place. This city is a cesspit. An open sewer of the soul that taints us with its filth and churns us out when all that is good has been stripped away. It also happens to be their home. And so it is mine. Ugh. That might be the first time I have said that out loud. Now come. We had best get to saving it. Lest Ryan turn her ire on us both.
Before we leave, I found a strange scroll in your sanctuary. Something about a timeless body.
The threat of spanking never kept the children from poking through my things. Why should it deter you? It is a ritual, or it describes one at least, practiced by druids of certain esoteric circles. If they be learned and powerful enough, the practitioner of this ritual might slow their aging, extend their life well beyond its natural reach. In greener days, I might have been strong enough to do it. I might be yet, with the right preparations.
So, you plan to do it?
I make no plans. Only contingencies. Do not look at me like that. I have been content to see the span of my natural years. A privilege far too few in this world can claim. I do not speak of clinging to life for its own sake, I just look back on that life's work and I wonder, is it done? The dead three plague the world still. The city still falls prey to small minds like Gortash or lost souls like Orin. It is every Harper's hope to be a light that drives out darkness. But I've lived long enough to see so many of those lights burn out, while the shadows cling stubbornly on. Knowing that, isn't it our duty to burn on if we can? To fight for as long as we are able?
Immortality is only as good as the life you're living. An eternity of luxury sounds a lot better than an eternity of struggle.
I'd have thought time would dull either. But I suppose I should know better than to argue with an immortal.
Would you live on at any cost?
In truth, I had put this ritual from my mind. Until last light. Trapped in that darkness. I turned to my research again. What if I was a little stronger? As fast as I once had been. Then you came. And made the question moot. But I kept this. Just in case, I told myself. A final resort. Perhaps you were not the savior you seemed. I had learned better than to think of life as some simple tale after all. There is no guarantee of happy endings, or true heroes. I believe that still. But when I look on all that we have achieved since, I wonder perhaps it is not heroes we need. Only people who are willing to try. I do not know what manner of story that makes. But I do know that without an ending, it would be no story at all. So I will accept mine. When and however it comes. As for this city story, well, that is entirely your problem now, Cub.
Enough of this cub stuff. My people live longer than yours, half-elf.
And age better, too. She who is most weathered is also most wise. But I do not plan on going anywhere just yet. And besides, you still have a tadpole in your skull. You're almost certainly going to die first.
You certainly don't pull your punches, Harper.
Jaheira has steel in her, I'll say that. It's not easy to walk away from immortality. Most people will have held on to that scroll for as long as they could bear to. And probably a century or two longer than that.
So this visit would have hit Nyxx pretty hard. Seeing Jaheira's family would remind Nyxx of their dysfunctional family. Jaheira's selflessness, her protectiveness would make Nyxx think about how vulnerable Astarion and the other companions still are around them. You know, maybe just being willing to try, as Jaheira put it, isn't going to be enough for someone with such evilness inherent in them.
All of these statues. Could they too be heroes all? Frozen in stone, and the city has need of them?
The Harpers keep records of those who fought for the city. I think I would recall mention of a bare-assed little cherub in all our story and song.
Well, who would also think you would have noticed when Nyxx himself was frozen for over a century?
Do you know? I had forgotten just how catty your hamster could be.
So now we're going to cut through this totally innocent park where there definitely won't be anything that could send Nyxx further into that existential crisis I mentioned a minute ago.
There's figures hiding in the foliage.
We redden our steel by the light of day in his name. You are our lamb, ready for slaughter. Lady Orin asked us to test you, but I think you'll fail. What say you, little lamb?
So now Orin's not just taunting Nyxx or kidnapping people, she's sending assassins after Nyxx in broad daylight.
Quick! Must be quick! This mind is small, fragile. Listen now!
I don't think so.
Listen! You know us. Absolute will. Absolute power. Not much time left. This mind cannot bear us. Turns to liquid. Listen close. We learn. We grow. Loosen our clumsy bindings. Aid us. Necromancer dead. Changeling and tyrant remain at odds. Kill them. You have a place in my grand design.
The Elder Brain turned her into a meat puppet. What the hell else can it do?
What happened? Why do I taste copper?
After all that, I think Nyxx is in need of some reassurance. So let's head back to camp and chat with some people.
Make sure you are refreshed before we set out again, friend. The road to justice is paved with kicked buttocks.
You're quite quick to call me friend.
Of course, my friend. Or are we not friends?
The only thing we have in common is the worm.
Oh, this iciness. It will not withstand the foraging fires of friendship. You will see. Now, does Boo see a question in your eye, or just a parasite poking through?
Just the parasite.
Ah, distressing.
You know, when our minds mingled, I saw some strange things.
Well, the mind of Minsk is a simple place. Of what strangeness do you speak?
The memories resurface. A lifetime of battles blurring into one. A single constant is Minsk, launching into the fray no matter the foe, be they god, monster, or man. It seems just the barest glimpse of what the man before you has seen and done, but enough to know that he has no right to still be alive.
Ah, wait! That look in your eye. I know exactly what visions of Minsk you have seen to cause you such wonder. My pants. Thrice laced in the Rashomar style, so that a berserker might split skulls without fear of splitting breeches too. They are fiendishly complex, but fear not for Minsk. With training, he has learned to master the many little knots.
You are literally too dumb to be breathing.
Ha! So thought my first teacher in the berserker arts. I gulped air like a greedy ox, so she sent me pulling her cart until I learned better. Eventually, Minsk got so mad, he threw her cart down the mountainside. My first berserker rage. A fine teacher. On this matter of sharing memories, I see no reason for us to worry at one another's worms. If there is more we wish to know, we can simply ask, no?
Of course. A warrior speaks their mind instead of reading others.
Exactly so! If I must peer into the mind of my enemy, I use an axe. For friends, there is ale. No, my friend. If you fear you have a question that Minsk cannot answer, then you can simply ask Boo.
I would actually like some advice. Oh, so stupid. But, you know, I really don't think you're half as dumb as you pretend.
How dare you? Minsk pretends at nothing, half the way or otherwise. There is more than a little to know, I think. I am huge.
You traveled with Baldur before, didn't you? What do you know of them?
Ah, Boo has an inkling that this is not the question you mean to ask. I saw some hints of things when our minds mushed together, but Jaheira confirmed it for me. You are of the same blood as our old friend, a Balspan, and as close to Minsk as if they were his own kin. That makes Minsk your uncle.
That's all you have to say? You're not worried what my blood might turn me into?
Oh, a curious question. Are a child and his father always alike? Take Minsk. He does not have a clear memory of the face of his father, but he does remember tugging on the thick, red whiskers that sprang from his chin. A beard for the ages. Boo could have nested there happily through even the harshest of Rashomon winters. Now, look closely at Minsk, and what do you see?
An idiot.
Where? Do not speak ill of our friends, and please, focus your gaze on Minsk. Do you see it? Boo is correct. No beard! There are more whiskers on his tiny face than on the mighty chin of Minsk. If Minsk did not inherit the flaming red hair of his mother, or the bushy red beard of his father, why would the spawn of Baal inherit his wickedness?
This is nonsense, Minsk. Evil isn't like a beard.
It is precisely the same. Although one is far easier to kick than the other.
This is pointless. You know, why don't you just stay here for now?
Truly? But you have seen my hamster, yes?
Go on. I'll meet up with you later.
Here we stay, then. But if Boo grows restless and chews holes in all your delicates, you only have yourself to blame.
I actually think Minsk is right, but Nyxx is feeling down on themselves and not really in a place where they can hear it right now.
The cub speaks.
I wanted to ask you something.
Ask it.
I know we haven't really talked about it, but you also traveled with the Child of Ball in times past, did you not?
I did, though I don't often speak of it. So many seem to think they know the whole story already. I find it a pity to correct them. We can speak of old battles later. Our plate is piled high with catastrophes enough for the present, huh?
Oh, you don't want to talk about it? Fine. Let's talk about that amulet I found in your house, then.
Oh dear. Should I brace myself for some fashion advice? But I suppose you have earned better than glibness from me. It was a gift from my husband Khalid. He was a harper. A better one than me, truth be told. Any idiot can swing a sword, but to believe in the cause with the whole of your heart, a much trickier thing. He died. Alone, in pain, and far too young. Murdered by a mage who craved immortality. I'll not grant it by naming him in the same breath as my husband.
Oh.
The quiet, unassuming shadow to Jaheira's strength, Khalid was another warrior who helped end the Balspawn crisis. Shortly after, he was murdered by the mad mage John Irenicus.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... I hope I didn't bring up any bad memories.
Nothing that wasn't already there. Fear not. But I've lived many lifetimes since Khalid died. You, twine your life around the people you love. And when they are gone, you grow around their absence instead. It is just another way they shape you. Which is my sage way of saying, I am in no danger of forgetting how my husband died. But I choose to remember how he lived.
Tell me something about him no one else knows.
I've never known a warrior to go so far out of his way to avoid a fight. Most harpers swagger and flash their feathers to catch your attention. Khalid was quiet to a fault. And when we were married, on an upturned cart in the rainy Dalelands, he stammered so much. I've never been sure if our vows actually counted.
You seem like an odd pairing.
The druid in me would like to say it was a thing of balance. The younger woman recalls rather more about a fine bottom, and the habit not to speak unless he had something to say. The songs make much of Khalid's meekness. The quiet little harper who had to keep a tight hold on his courage, but he had it when it counted. And more than that, he had compassion. When you live a harper's life, see all that a harper sees, that is by far the harder thing to hold on to. But a bard can tell you all the rest. As for all the things they cannot, well, I shall just have to keep those for myself.
Well, I think we need to part ways for a moment. I'll see you back here.
You're sure?
No. But you should still stay back.
Later, then. I tell you not to get in trouble, but I suspect it will find you whether you like it or not.
Okay, well, after talking with Jaheira about Khalid and the ramifications of losing the person you love, Nyxx has decided to do something that some of y'all probably aren't going to like. Let's go do this in a place that's a bit more private.
I hope there's nothing troubling you, my dear.
Actually, there is. I think we need to talk.
All right, let's talk. Who knows when we'll have another chance?
What am I to you?
Nothing special, of course. You're only the first person who I truly care for.
That's what I was afraid of.
You're so adorable when you're thinking what to say.
That's because I don't know how to say it. Even though I know that I need to.
Well, now's as good a time as any.
Whatever is between us, we need to end it.
Oh, shit. Did I do something wrong? Why? What's changed?
I'm so worried I'm going to end up killing you one day.
I may be guilty of a bit of embellishment here and there, but I'm no liar. When I vowed we'd save you, we will save you. This little adventure of ours has taught me that we can't let our lives be ruled by fear, or else we never really live. I'm not afraid. Not of you. Not of your darkness, and not of our future.
But I could end us both, you know.
Cazador used his tortures to strike terror into me. But I've rarely been more afraid than on the night when I feared Baal had claimed you for good. But I trust you won't kill me. And if you do, then I've gotten sloppy and probably have it coming.
You're so sweet.
I am. And beautiful. Not enough people mention that. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, you thought they were gonna break up? No way in all the hells.